So, it's not game over if the marriage breaks down, contrary to what a lot of people think. Let's go through a hypothetical timeline for like getting married to becoming a US citizen after you've entered the US on some sort of visa, with some exclusions like a J1 that has the 2-year residency requirement, or a crewman's visa are going to be the two notable exceptions. But for the most part, if you enter the US, for example, as a tourist, student visa, employment-based visa like an H1B, and you end up marrying a US citizen, you're probably eligible for adjustment of status at some point. So if that's you, you might be wondering, how long before I get my green card? What are the next steps? And when do I become a citizen? All that good stuff. So let's do a bit of a deep dive into those questions. I think the easiest way to explain this is with like a hypothetical. Let's say you entered the US a few years ago on a tourist visa and you just overstayed. You never departed the United States for whatever reason, whether it was your fault or not your fault, beyond the scope of this video. You've now effectively overstayed and you're out of status. And your significant other is a US citizen and you guys want to get married and you've been dating for like a year. You want to know, how soon after we get married can we submit the adjustment of status application? My answer in this scenario is immediately. You guys have been together for a while. There's evidence of your relationship, or a better way to say it is, if there's evidence of your relationship, then you can apply immediately. If there's no evidence at all, you guys don't like taking photographs, you've never been on a vacation together, you've never lived together, you've never told your friends or family about each other, and there's just like no evidence, then I would wait until you've been living together for a while and there's evidence of your relationship before you submit the adjustment of status application with the family petition in what's known as a one-step adjustment of status filing. Right now, processing times for green card applicants through marriage are pretty fast. We filed a couple marriage-based adjustment of status applications like 2 to 3 months ago, and they're being scheduled for interviews now. My earlier applications from earlier this year and the end of 2024 were taking like 6 to 9 months, depending on the part of the United States where the applicant lives and the backlogs in that USCIS office. So things are pretty fast right now. Let's say that the process takes 6 months, which historically is also very fast. I mean, during the pandemic, things were taking like 2 to 3 years in some instances. So let's say you get married now, 6 months from now, or much sooner possibly, is gonna be your green card interview. And if everything goes well at the interview, which it should if you have like a clean case, within 2 to let's say 4 weeks of that, you'll have the physical green card in your hand. And then, some relief should accompany the physical card because you're not deportable anymore, you're lawfully present in the US, you have the right to live and work here, and you're on a pathway to US citizenship. So since you got your green card when your marriage was less than 2 years old, it's gonna be a conditional green card, which means that it's gonna expire in 2 years. Before it expires, within the 90-day window before your green card expires, you will have to file Form I-751, a petition to remove the conditions on your green card. And along with that, we have to submit a ton of evidence to show that during the last 2 years, when you've had your conditional green card, you continued to live in a good faith marriage. If the marriage has fallen apart by then, check out my other videos about filing an I-751 based on divorce. Your green card is still totally salvageable as long as we can prove that when you entered the marriage, it was in good faith. If the marriage was fraudulent from the beginning, then, first of all, we won't represent you, but also you might be in like deep trouble at this point, and you might eventually end up in removal proceedings. Once we file the I-751, one of the first things that'll happen is you'll get a receipt notice indicating that the petition to remove the conditions on your green card is pending. And that receipt notice will give you a 48-month extension on your green card. The actual length of the extension varies from time to time. That can change in the future. It might be shorter, it might be longer. Doesn't matter. Basically, the 48-month extension that's currently offered begins on the day that your green card expires. So from that moment, as long as your I-751 is pending, if you want to travel internationally, or prove that you're a permanent resident to a new employer or whatever reason, you need your expired green card and the extension letter from the I-751 receipt notice showing that your green card is automatically extended. You would also need those two documents at the very least to travel internationally. That assumes there's no criminal history and you're not spending too much time outside of the US. If any of those things apply, check out my videos on that. You might not want to travel internationally. You might have major problems re-entering. Your I-751 could be pending anywhere from like 1.5 years to like 4 years, depending on where you live in the United States and whether it's based on a good faith marriage or if the marriage broke down and it's based on divorce. If it's based on divorce, it's gonna take way longer, but it's still totally approvable. I have tons of those cases. I expect them to get approved. So, it's not game over if the marriage breaks down, contrary to what a lot of people think. But let's assume you're still in a good faith marriage, you're still living with the US citizen spouse who petitioned for you. In that scenario, once you've been a conditional resident for 2 years and 9 months, which means like when you got your initial 2-year green card, right? Calculate 2 years and 9 months from that day, you could submit your N-400 application for naturalization. And this will actually, in most instances, actually speed up the processing of the I-751 petition to remove conditions. And these policies have changed from time to time, so I'll just tell you what it's like right now. If you take this course of action, you'll have a joint I-751 N-400 interview. And at that interview, your US citizen spouse will have to attend. Part of the interview will be to remove the conditions on your green card by demonstrating that your marriage was in good faith and continues to be in good faith and you're still living together. And then the other half of the interview will be for your naturalization. It'll be like the civics test. You need to show that you speak English, speak with the officer about your application, not have bad character, bunch of requirements. After that N-400 interview, typically within 120 days, you'll receive some notice indicating that your case was either approved or denied. And if approved, you'll be scheduled for a swearing in ceremony. And then usually that ceremony will be within like 1 to 3 months of that notice date. So this whole process from start to finish, from like the date you get married until the day you become a citizen, could be like 4 years. It could theoretically be less under current processing times, but it's gonna really depend how long it takes for the initial green card to get approved and then for the naturalization process, which in most of the US right now, the naturalization process is probably taking like 5 to 8 months. Again, that's regional. If you haven't seen my other videos, USCIS has specifically told me, a specific officer told me that if your client qualifies for naturalization, I strongly recommend applying right now because they are receiving tons of guidance on changes to come. I don't know what those changes are. The USCIS director recently indicated that they're going to make the citizenship, the civics test harder. It's still not going to be that hard. I'm not super worried about that. But I am worried about other things that could make the process more likely to be difficult. For example, last time Trump was president, they implemented an unofficial policy where if you failed to submit an AR-11 updating your address with USCIS when you're a permanent resident, that could be viewed as like a bad character event. And then you would need to wait 5 years since that bad character event before you could apply for naturalization by showing good character. They also took like a stricter view on certain citations. So like anyway, you want to avoid that. Those policies haven't gone into effect yet. If you're eligible for naturalization, I strongly recommend speaking to an attorney or submitting your application as soon as possible before the process becomes harder. What I've generally been telling people is, if you're eligible now, I would apply right now, or possibly wait until Trump is gone and the policies hopefully reset back to something that's more normal, historically speaking. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you yourself or a loved one need any assistance with family-based immigration, just need some guidance on what to do or how to create a strategy or a plan, you want an attorney to review questions that you have about an application that you've prepared yourself, or someone ended up in removal proceedings and you need to speak to an attorney about deportation defense, you could schedule a consultation directly with me. I would love to speak to you about little things like strategy or answer questions that ChatGPT might have messed up on your initial go around, or I could offer full representation in a bunch of situations from naturalization, adjustment of status, deportation defense, depending on the situation. So if you want to speak to an attorney, schedule a consultation directly with me. My information is in the video description below, including a direct booking link. If you're new to the channel and you just want to learn what's happening in immigration world and get up-to-date information on changes under the Trump administration, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.